Hey guys, welcome to this week's Movie Highlights. My name is Ethan Wood, and today we're talking about the craziest movie I've ever watched on a plane before. Honestly, probably one of the craziest movies I've ever watched just in general. And if you knew by the thumbnail, yes, we are talking about Amelia Perez. Now, hot take, I think I'm going to talk about something that you probably don't like. I'm going to be talking about the redeemable qualities of this movie, not necessarily the things that were terrible, because I want to kind of calm the waters. There's a lot of hate online, tons of videos explaining the controversy, tons of videos explaining the hate. That's been done. I'm going to let them do their thing. I want to talk about the redeeming qualities. And the thing I want to focus on today are the actors and their performances. And I want to break down the top 3 actors, namely Karla Sofia Gascon as Amelia Perez, Zoe Saldana as Rita Castro, and Selena Gomez as Jessica. I do think that these 3 actors delivered performances that hit so hard with audiences, for better or for worse. But I think that this is also the reason why this movie is terrible. And we're going to talk about that today. Cue the intro sequence. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Karla Sofia Gascon as Amelia Perez. Now, if you don't know anything about Karla, that is because this is his first major film. And also, Karla is known as Juan Carlos Gascon, and that is because Karla is trans. Karla started acting in the 1990s on a BBC show for Spanish learning, and then later on a telenovela in Mexico by 2010. In 2018, Karla transitioned to a woman and published a memoir which announced to the world that Karla was actually trans. And honestly, Amelia Perez was not Karla's best performance, but as far as acting goes, it was really, really good. Now, I was a little disturbed, yes. Weird character. There was a whole scene where Karla was in bed with her son, used to be son, and the son was like, "You smell like daddy," and he was like caressing the baby, or the kid a little bit. It was uncomfortable. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, what the heck was that? But I don't think that that's Karla's fault. I think Karla was handed a really derpy script and lousy writing and terrible songs, and that is the reason why the performance was terrible. Now, as far as acting goes, very well done. Great dynamics as a character. Went from fun-loving aunt to deranged to angry at one point, and all those dynamics hit really, really well with audiences. I think it's just a little odd seeing someone who's really good at acting like a woman but then also comes out talking like a man sometimes on film. It's just a little disturbing. I give Karla an 8 out of 10 for acting, not because Karla is trans, but because of how convincing the character is. Now, before we jump into anything else, I just want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to this content because Google's algorithm is weird. And if you guys can like and subscribe, then you can tell other people to watch this video as well. So I'd really appreciate it. Also, comment down below. Okay, so second, we're going to talk about Zoe Saldana as Rita Castro. Now, if you know this actor's face, yes, this actor played in Marvel, this actor played in Avatar, and oh how far the mighty have fallen, because this was a terrible film for this actor to take part in. In 2024, Zoe was the highest grossing actress and was in the top 100 most influential women in the world in 2023. Her performance was great, actually. I thought her character was very well done. Great acting, great dancing. Some of it, obviously, super terrible, super cringy. But as someone who has tried to do dance choreography before and has taken a part in theater, I can say what she did was beyond anything I would be capable of and beyond anything most people would be. Very well executed choreography, very crisp movements, complicated movements. It was a very talented performance, and I think we need to recognize that and stop giving her so much hate for what she's doing. She's doing a really good job. Again, the choreography she was handed was awful. Again, I think her performance fell short when she was giving crappy songs and terribly inappropriate choreography, which maybe she agreed to do, but I don't think that that's necessarily her fault. I think she could do a whole lot better though, and I think that the character that she was given just wasn't well written at all. So I give her a 7.5 out of 10 for great performance. She is a phenomenal actor. I think her character just needed a lot of workshopping before they put it on screen. Now, there is something I want to mention because Rita and Amelia. They have competing character plot lines in the entire movie. We will get back to that. But lastly, we are going to talk about Selena Gomez as Jessica. This person received so much hate online for her performance, and I don't think that she deserves any of that. In fact, I think she actually had the best performance out of everyone on that stage, on that movie screen. Sorry, this isn't a theater play. There is no context for her. Everyone knows who Selena Gomez is by this point. If you don't go look her up, you've been living under a rock. She is extremely famous. And I think it's notable to say that she doesn't speak Spanish. She is of Spanish origin, and her parents are, but she doesn't live in a Spanish country, nor does she speak Spanish. And she had to figure out accent. She had to figure out how to speak it again. It took her a whole year to figure that out. Very well done performance. Good job, Selena. Great, good job for you. Her dancing was probably the best I've seen in a while, but it was full of emotion, passion, and expression, which if you've done dance, again, it's like the witch's stew of good choreography. You like put those 3 things in a stew and then you drink it and you're like, that's good soup. That is exactly what her performance was. It was good soup. And I think that another good highlight for her was the dynamics of her character. She went from being a mom, very sane, to being a whore, which was insane, and then went from an extreme dancer to literally going psycho on everyone. Very convincing all around. And I think that she played her character to a T. There was nothing in my mind that said, oh, that was a little weird, or oh, that didn't hit quite right. Everything she did hit so well, and I felt for her. She did not deserve anything that she was going through, and she stuck it out. What a great person. I give her a 9 out of 10 for her acting. And that's a hot take, I know. We're going to get back to what I said earlier, the competing plot lines, because I think that that is the reason that this movie is terrible. And if you follow my channel, you will know that I think that a lot of movies in Hollywood can be redeemed. This is not one of them. Amelia Perez does not deserve to be watched. Do not watch it. It is not worth your time. And there are many reasons why this movie sucked, and I agree with most of them. Some of note are there's too much political messaging, or the bad musical numbers were just too much for me, which the Penis to Vagina song was definitely one that took the cake. Man to woman. From penis to vagina. As a reporter, I needed to look through my news sources. I needed to look through Reddit so that you guys don't have to look through Reddit, and I found this comment that hits it right on the head, and I want to read that for you guys right here. It starts out, I have nothing against trans people. Good job, entertainment, okay? That movie was nothing but insulting to trans people. It recycles trans stereotypes and cliches and was so gross to watch. It is so alienated from anything even similar to real trans person or a real transition. I'm not trans myself, but I know trans people IRL, and it was so upsetting to see how deranged and retro the depiction was. That is why this movie was terrible. The whole movie was just a list of bullet points, stereotyping trans people, not only trans people, but also feminism and guy meets girl hookup culture. There were just stereotypes going all the way down the list. And it wasn't even well done. Like, you could have made a movie that kind of starts portraying that and tells a story of someone, but it just felt like messaging being shoved in my face. So, I mean, the reason why the movie was bad could actually be the messaging. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. But each actor represented each topic. You had Karla as the trans representative, you had Zoe as the feminist representative, and then you had Selena as the guy meets girl hookup culture representative. All 3 of these plot points were happening at one time, and it was like Hollywood threw all of them in a blender, blended it up, and then just like threw it at a canvas and was like, art, look at it. And no one wanted to look at it. It was awful. I don't think anyone cared to watch this movie for the political messages. That wasn't the reason people put this on their TVs or went to the theaters. It has no redeemable qualities, because any movie that acts like propaganda, that just wants to shove a message in your face, does not deserve to be watched. That's just a standard for me. And this movie would have benefited from some organization or prioritization, either just focusing on the trans issue, just focusing on the feminist issue, or just focusing on Selena Gomez, because there was too much going on. I couldn't follow any of it. None of the characters had any actual plot lines. It was just things happening, and they made sure to throw in all the political messages that they could. And that is because this movie is not meant for you, and it's not meant for me, and it's not meant for money. If they wanted it to be for money, they would have made stuff that the people actually want to watch. No, this message was meant to tell you what to believe. It was meant to be a message. And this movie sought to make these issues just relevant and normal, and that they should be celebrated. But actually, it just left us isolated, feeling like we had just been lectured to. And there's a line that I want to point out, and it says this was in the movie: to listen is to accept. And that's exactly what they want to do. They are trying to get you to just listen to it and then accept it and move on and make it your new normal. No one wants to make it their new normal. You guys are smarter than that, and people online are too, because we see through their twisted game. We want movies with substance, and we want movies that open our imagination, not shut us down. So Amelia Perez missed the mark entirely, and that makes me really happy because it reassures me that people are still thinking and engaging, and they want good content. We're not just going to blindly follow whatever Hollywood puts out. But I do hope that by now Hollywood has gotten the message that we don't want Amelia Perez. We want good storytelling. We want actors that actually resonate with us. We want quality movies. We don't want propaganda, and we don't want political speeches. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'm always looking for ways to spice up my content, so if you guys have any tips or tricks, or if you have any comments or questions down below, please drop them. I love reading those. Thank you so much for all the ways you have already engaged with my channel. Again, I would ask that you guys like and subscribe to tell Google's algorithm to suggest my videos, because that would be so nice. And again, I believe that Hollywood can be redeemed, so let's work on redeeming it. Stay thoughtful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.